ናቸው የቻናል ቤተሰቦች ዛሬ ከተለያዩ ቦታዎች ጠርቀም ከሚያደርጓቸው ፋይናል ኤግዛም ሊሆን ይችላሉ ብላቸው ትምህርቶች ይዤላችሁ መጥቻለሁ። ኤክስፒሪየንስ ትወስዱታላችሁ። ከመግባታችሁ በፊት እነዚህ ጥያቄዎች ብትሰሯቸው እንደ መለማመጃ ኤክሰርሳይዞች ይሆናቸዋል። ስለዚህ ጥያቄዎችን ለማየት እንሞክራለን። ለቻናሉ አዲስ የሆናችሁ ሰብስክራይብ እያደረጋችሁ ፎሎ አድርጉ። በሌላ ጊዜ ደግሞ የሀረማያ ዩኒቨርሲቲ ፋይናል ኤግዛም ይዤላችሁ እመጣለሁ። ለጊዜው ይህን ጥያቄ እንሰራለን። የመጀመሪያው ጥያቄ if 1 plus I times x plus iy is equal to 2 plus 4i, then 5x is, so let's determine first the value of x and y, then we can find 5x. So እዚህ ጋር አንደርስታንድ የምናደርገው ምንድን ነው? ሁለት ኮምፕሌክስ ነምበሮች ኢኩቫለንት ናቸው የምንለው when the real part is equal to the real part of the other complex number and the imaginary part is equal to the other imaginary part of the complex number. So this one is given as a product of two complex numbers. So 1 plus 1 plus I times x plus iy, x plus iy is equal to 2 plus 4i. It says 2 plus 4i. So let's find the product of these complex numbers first. So 1 times x is x, 1 times iy is iy, and iy plus I times x is xi or ix, xi or ix, plus I times I is I square is minus 1, which is minus y, which is equal to 2 plus 4i. So collecting real parts together and imaginary parts together, so x minus y plus I times x plus y is equal to 2 plus 4i. So equating the imaginary to the imaginary part and the real to the real part. So x minus y is equal to what? X minus y real part ነው ከሪል ፓርት 2 ጋር እኩል ይሆናል ማለት ነው። and x plus y ደግሞ ኢማጂነሪ ፓርት ነው ከኢማጂነሪ ፓርቱ ጋር እኩል ይሆናል ማለት ነው። so adding this one together you get to x is equal to minus y plus y is 0 is equal to 2 plus 4 is 6. So x is equal to how much? X is equal to 3. X becomes 3. So the question is 5 times x is how much? So 5 times 3 is 15. So the solution for this one is 15. The next question is find the conjugate of 1 plus 3i cubed. 1 plus 3i cubed. So 1 plus I cubed means 1 plus I cubed means 1 plus I times 1 plus I times 1 plus I. So let's do first the product of these two. So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times I is I, and I times 1 is I, and I times I is I square. I square is how much? Minus 1. I square is minus 1. So times 1 plus I. So which is equal to which is equal to 1 minus 1 is this one by this one is cancelled. What's left? 2i is left here. So 1 plus I here. So 1 plus I times 2i. So 2i times 1 is 2i, and 2i times I is which is 2 times I square, which is minus 2, So which is the same as minus 2 in standard form, minus 2 plus 2i. Minus 2 plus 2i is the minus 2 plus 2i is 1 plus I cubed. 1 plus I cubed. Now it's conjugate. Don't forget. አሁን እዚህ ጋር minus 2 plus I ካገኘን በኋላ ምርጫው ጋር ወጣን እንዳንሄድ because ይሄ የተጠየቀው የዚህን ኮንጁጌት ነው እንጂ የኪውብዱን አይደለም። ስለዚህ if this one is z ብለን ያገኘነው ከሆነ z is this one, so z conjugate becomes what? Z conjugate becomes minus 2i ይሆናል ማለት ነው። minus 2i ይሆናል ማለት ነው። minus 2i is on b ማለት ነው። ያቻት ራሷን ማለች ራሷ z cubed አለች ራሷ እዚህ ጋር እንደምርጫ ወጣለች because አንዳንዶቻችን ዘለን ይሄን ካገኘን በኋላ ስራ የጨረስን መስሎን ይሄንን መልስ ልናደርገው ስለምንችል ማለት ነው። so የተጠየቀው ጥያቄ በትክክል አንደርስታንድ ማድረግ ያስፈልጋል። So the next one is, what is the value of I square plus I the power of 4 plus I the power of 6 plus I the power of 2n when the number n is even ማለት ነው። አሁን n-ዎቹ በሙሉ even ናቸው እዚህ ጋር እንደምታዩቸው። So just we have given sequence, the sum of sequence of numbers i's ማለት ነው። So ምን እናደርጋለን? What's I square ነው? What's I square first? I square ማለት ስንት ነው? I square is minus 1 አይደል? Clearly I square is minus 1. I is the power of 4 ምንድን ነው? What's I is the power of 4 next? Which is the same as I square times cubed ማለት square ማለት ነው። I square times square ማለት ነው። I square times square. So which is what? Which is positive 1 ነው ማለት ነው። I is the power of 6 ማለት እንዴት ነው? I is the power of 6 ማለት እንዴት ነው? I is the power of 6 ማለት ደግሞ which is the same as I square ነው። I square the power of what? The power of 3 ነው። I square is negative 1 ነው። Negative 1 the power of 3 is minus 1 ነው ማለት ነው። I is the power of 8 is I is the power of 8. I is the power of 8 is how much? I is the power of 8 ማለት ደግሞ minus I square minus I square minus I square minus I square is the power of 4 ማለት ነው, which is minus I square ደግሞ minus 1 ነው, which is 1 ማለት ነው. so እንደዚህ ያለ እስክሪፕት ድረስ ይቀጥላል ማለት ነው. I is the power of 2n minus 1 2n minus 2 ጋር ድረስ which is the same as I is the power of minus I is the power of 2 I is the power of 2 right? I is the power of 2 I is the power of 2 the power of n minus 1 ድረስ ማለት ነው. n minus 1 ድረስ ይሆናል። and then መጨረሻው I is the power of 2 ማለት ነው. I is the power of 2n I is the power of 2n is the same as I is the power of 2 the power of n ማለት ነው. I is the power of 2 the power of n ማለት ነው. አሁን እነዚህ ፕሮፐርቲዎች ወስደን I is the power of 2 እነዚህ ፕሮፐርቲዎች ወስደን እንደዚህ አይነት ሰም እንስራ ኮንስትራክት እናድርግ። I square ከፕላስ I the power of 4 ጋር ይደምራል። I square ከI the power of 4 ጋር ይደምራል። ብቻዋን እዚች ጋር ፕላስ እንደገና I the power of 6 ፕላስ ከI the power of 8 ጋር ይደምራል አብሬ I the power of 8 ጋር ይደምራል አብሬ ፕላስ I the power of 10 I the power of 10 ከI the power of 12 ጋር አብሬ ይደምራል I the power of 12 ጋር አብሬ ይደምራል ፕላስ I the power of 2n minus 2 2n minus 2 ከማን ጋር ደምሮ አብሬ ከአይ ዘ ፓወር ኦፍ ከአይ ዘ ፓወር ኦፍ አይ ዘ ፓወር ኦፍ ኤን ጋር የጀምረው አብሬ ማለት ነው። አያችሁት? እንደዚህ የሆነ ማለት ነው። አይ ዘ ፓወር ኦፍ 2 ፕላስ አይ ዘ ፓወር ኦፍ 4 is how much? -1 ፕላስ 1 ማለት ነው which is 0 ማለት ነው። which is 0 ይሄም እንደገና 0 ይሆናል። ይሄም እንደገና 0 ይሆናል። and the last term is also 0 ማለት ነው። so ጠቅላላ ድምሩ ምን ይሆናል ማለት ነው? 0 ይሆናል። so from the set of alternatives b is equal to b0 የሚለው ልክ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። so በዛ መልኩ እንሰራለን ማለት ነው። so የሚቀጥለው ደግሞ find the argument of a complex number an argument of a complex number የምንለው ማለት ነው። an argument of a complex number is an angle which is formed by the complex number n with a positive x-axis ማለት ነው። an argument is an angle which is formed by the complex number z, the complex number z which is formed with a positive x-axis ማለት ነው። positive x-axis ጋር የሚፈጥረው angle is said to be argument እንለዋለን ማለት ነው። is said to be an argument and an argument theta is obtained by the argument which is arg of z is equal to an argument of z is equal to tan inverse of, we can use this formula, ይሄን ፎርሙላ እንጠቀም tan inverse of y over x, tan inverse of y over x ነው የምንጠቀመው። አሁን ዜድን እናስተካክል መጀመሪያ። አርጊመንት ከፈለጋችን በፊት z is equal to I over 5 plus 5 over I ይሄን እናስተካክል which is equal to I over 5 is a normal form of a complex number plus 5 over I, but 5 over y is not a formal way, so that let's multiply it by 1. Let's multiply it by 1 and በሆነ ቁጥር complex number አበዛ ነው ማለት ነው። so which is the same as I over 5 plus which is 5i, 5 times I is 5i, and I times I is what? I times I is -1, I times I is -1, so which is 5 in the ጋራ ወስደው 1 minus 25i ማለት ነው። 1 minus I, which is I minus 25i ማለት ነው። I minus 25i ማለት ነው, which is the same as minus 24i over 5 minus 24i over 5 ማለት ነው። so ይሄ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። this is z ማለት ነው። this is z minus 25 or 4 which has no real part ማለት ነው። real part 0 የሆነ real part 0 የሆነ ማለት ነው። real part 0 የሆነ ማለት ነው። so እንደምታዩት minus real part 0 የሆነ ማለት y axis ማለት ነው። y axis በሙሉ ማለት ነው። so እዚህ አካባቢ እናደርገው እዚህ ጋር ብናደርገው እዚህ አካባቢ ማለት ነው። so ይሄ ደግሞ ማለት ነው minus pi over theta minus pi over 2 ትሆናለች። ወይም ደግሞ ወደዚህ ነው minus which is 3 pi over 2 ይሆናል ማለት ነው። so ከሁለቱ ብቻ አንደኛው ነው ስለዚህ ማለት so minus pi over 2 is the correct solution in D ማለት ነው። D ላይ ያለው ትክክለኛ ምርጫ ነው ማለት ነው። and the negation of the statement all continuous functions are differentiable. all continuous functions are differentiable. all ሚለው and there exist ሚለው ሁለቱም እያሰቡ so p of x ማለት ነው። p of x ምን ብንለው ማለት ነው? p of x ምንለው if continuous functions are differentiable. now all continuous functions are differentiable ማለት ነው። all continuous functions are differentiable ሚለው ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ all continuous functions are differentiable for all እንለዋለን ማለት ነው። for all x ማለት ነው። for all x p of x እንደማለት ነው። for all x p of x እንደማለት ነው። for all x p of x እንደማለት ነው። for all x p of x ተፈጥሮ then what's the negation of this statement ነው ማለት ነው። the negation of for all x p of x ማለት ነው። for the negation of for all x p of x is there exists x negation of p of x ማለት ነው። negation of p of x ማለት ነው። negation of p of x ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ for all የሚለው then for some x ማለት ነው some when we are writing it some some continuous functions are not differentiable. Some continuous functions are not differentiable. Not differentiable. Are not differentiable. Some continuous functions are not. So all continuous functions are not differentiable. Some continuous functions are differentiable. Some continuous functions are not differentiable is the exact solution. So with the negation of all continuous functions are not differentiable, some continuous functions are differentiable. The next one is the inverse of a function. So let's take that y, which is equal to inverse of a derivative 1 plus 2x over x plus 7. X plus 7 is given. Then to find the inverse of a given function, first we write y is equal to this form. We write f of x as y is equal to x form. Then interchange. The first step is this one. Step 1 we write it set away, and step 2. On step 2 we interchange x and y. Interchange x and y. Interchange x and y. X on the place of x we write a y. On the place of y ደግሞ x እንጽፋለን ማለት ነው። በx ቦታ ላይ y በy ቦታ ላይ x እንጽፋለን ማለት ነው። x ኢንተርቼንጅ x and y። ከዛ ስቴፕ 3 ላይ ምን እናደርጋለን? ስቴፕ 3 ላይ ደግሞ ምን እናደርጋለን? ስቴፕ 3 ላይ ሶልቭ ፎር y ለy ሶልቭ እናደርጋለን። ሶልቭ ፎር y for y solve for y ለy ሶልቭ እናደርጋለን። ስቴፕ 4 ላይ ለy ሶልቭ ካደረግን በኋላ መጨረሻ ላይ ስቴፕ 4 ላይ ምን እናደርጋለን? replace y by f inverse of x ማለት ነው። replace y f inverse of የኢንቨርስ ፋንክሽን ለማግኘት ይህን ፕሮሲጀር ነው የምንጠቀመው ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ የመጀመሪያው ስራችን y is equal to 2x 1 plus 2x over x plus y የሚለውን ሪፕሬዘንት አደረግን ማለት ነው። ኔክስት ስቴፕ ላይ we interchange x እና y interchange ማለት x is equal to 1 plus 2y over y plus 7 ለችት እንደዚህ እንጽፈዋለን ማለት ነው። ኤክስቼንጅ እናደርጋቸዋለን፣ ሪፕሌስ እናደርጋቸዋለን፣ ኢንተርቼንጅ እናደርጋቸዋለን። ከዛ በኋላ ክሪስ ክሮስ እናድርገው። ይሄንን it becomes x times y plus 7 x times y plus 7 is equal to 1 plus 2y እናገኛለን በዚህኛው ሳይድ and then multiply by x times y plus 7x is equal to 1 plus 2y. 1 plus 2y is left. Then collect similar terms here. So x times y minus 2y which is equal to 1 minus 7x which is taking y as common, x minus 2 which is equal to 1 minus 7x. So y is equal to solving for y y minus 7x 1 minus 7x over x minus 2 እንደዚህ ልናገኝ ይችላል። ወይም ደግሞ 7 minus 7x minus 1 over 2 minus x ልናገኝ ይችላል። ከሁለቱ አንዱ ምርጫ የኤፍ ኢንቨርስ ነው ማለት ነው። which is ለዋይ ሶልቭ አደረግን። ይሄ ኤፍ ኢንቨርሳችን ነው ማለት ነው። ሰው ከምርጫ ውስጥ 7x ማይነስ 1 የሚላለ 7x ማይነስ 1 አለ። ከዛ 2 ማይነስ ኤክስ 7x ማይነስ 1 2 ፕላስ ኤክስ ነው። ይሄም አይሆንም። 7x ኦቨር 2 የማይሆንም 7x ማይነስ 1 2 ማይነስ ኤክስ አለ ማለት ነው። 7x ማይነስ 1 ኦቨር 2 ማይነስ ኤክስ ኢዝ ሶሉሽን ማለት ሶ ሲ ሶሉሽን ይሆናል ማለት ነው። የሚቀጥለው ጥያቄ if f of x is equal to 1 plus x over x minus 1 x where x is different from 1 then f times f of x composite function ፈልጉ ተባለ። f of x ማን ሰጥቶናል? f of x is given as 1 plus x ተሰጥቶናል። f of x is given 1 plus x ነው። my x minus 1 ሰጥቶናል። then what's f of x ነው የሚለው f of x ነው የሚለው so which is the same as f of x is this one 1 plus f of x 1 plus f of x over f of x minus 1 ማለት f of x minus 1 ማለት ነው so this one also which is the same as 1 plus x over x minus 1 over x minus 1 over x 1 plus x 1 plus x over x minus 1 x minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 so which is እዚህ ከዲኖሚኔተሩ ላይ x minus 1 ነገር እንወስድ x minus 1 ነገር ወሰድን x minus 1 is common then x minus 1 plus 1 plus x minus 1 plus 1 plus x እናገኘ over x minus 1 ደግሞ ለዲኖሚኔተር x minus 1 ነገር እንወስድ x minus 1 which is 1 plus x minus x minus 1 minus x minus 1 እንወስድ minus x minus 1 እንወስድ so which is the same as x minus 1 plus 1 minus x 1 በ1 ይጠፋል ማለት ነው ከላይኛው ምን ይቀረናል 2x ይቀረናል ማለት ነው ከላይኛው 2x ይቀረናል over x minus 1 over x minus 1 over x minus 1 over x minus 1 ጋር አለን ከታች x minus 1 አለን ከላይኛው ጋር 1 minus x plus 1 ነው minus x በminus x በፕላስ x ይጠፋና 1 plus 1 is 2 ማለት ነው 1 plus 1 is 2 ማለት ነው so ይሄንን ሪአሬንጅ ስናደርገው 2x times 2x over x minus 1 2x over x minus 1 times increase cross inverse ስናደርገው x minus 1 over 2 ይሆናል ማለት ነው x minus 1 over 2 ይሆናል ማለት ነው x minus 1 በx minus 1 ይጠፋል 2 በ2 ይጠፋና ማን ይቀራል ማለት ነው x ብቻ ይቀራል ማለት ነው so the f of the composite function f of x is x ማለት ነው so which is x so the next question is question number 8 which is the LCM and GCF of two numbers are 240 and 30 respectively if one number is 60 then find the other number so ይሄንን ማስታወስ እንችላለን we can remember this one the LCM of two numbers x and y times GCF the GCF of two numbers x and y when the product of this LCM and the GCF is always equal to x times y always equal to x times y so we can take this one as one way of finding another number from the GCF and the LCM of two numbers is given and one number is given as well so because before that let's write the prime factorization of 240 divided by 2 which is 120 divided by 2 we have 60 divided by 2 we have 30 divided by 2 we have 15 divided by 5 or 3 is We have 5. We have 5. So see, 240 is to the power of 4 times 3 times 5 to the power of 4 times 3 times 5, and 60 prime factorization of 60 is just you can count from this one to its bottom. So ከዚህ ወደታች ያለው መቁጠር ትችላላችሁ። to the power of 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 is prime factorization of 60, and we need the prime factorization of 12. 12 is 4 times 3, which is 4 is to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of 2 times 3. So now using this formula, the LCM and GCF product, the product of LCM and GCF, which is 240 times 12, 240 times 12 is equal to 60 times y, 60 times y. So which is to the power of 4 to the power of 4 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5 times 3 times 5 times 12 is to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of 2 times 3, which is the same as to the power of 2 to the power of 2 times 3 times 5 times 5 times 3 times 5 times y times y times y. So let's cancel these ones. To the power of 2 will be cancelled by to the power of 2. 3 will be cancelled by this one. 5 will be cancelled by this one. So y is equal to to the power of 4 to the power of 4 times 3 to the power of 4 times 3. So what's to the power of 4? To the power of 2 is 4, and to the power of 2 is 4, which is 16, which is 16 times 3. 16 times 3, which is 448, which is just 48. So the other number is 48. The other number is 48. So number C, the choice number C is the solution. The next one, if the LCM of two numbers is this one, and the GCF or HCF of is 12, if one number is 504, then the other number is what the other number ነው። በተመሳሳይ ጥያቄ ናቸው እነዚህ GCF እና LCM ፈልገን we can find their GCF and LCM. So for simplicity, we may use calculators. So LCM of two numbers x and y. I would remember the last exercise. At the same time, GCF of two numbers, x and y. X and y is always equal to x times y, always equal to x times y, always equal to x times y. So LCM is 2520 is given, 2520 is given, times 12 is here is given, so which is equal to, and the first number is 504 is given, times y is there. So y which is equal to 2520 times 12 over 504 is 1. So let's use a calculator for this one. 2520 times 12 is this one, divided by 504. Divided by 504, we get 60. So which is 60. So that the solution from this one is C. C is the correct choice. The next one is the range of a relation R x comma x squared. X is a prime number less than 30 is given. Then what's the range? The range of the relation. So the relation R is formed. The relation R is formed from from one set to the other set, from set of prime numbers to this one. So R of x is R of x is given by this relation, R of x given by x squared. So what are x's? What are x's? X is these elements. So x is prime numbers less than 30. What are prime numbers less than 30? 1, 2, 2 is another, 3 is another prime number, 5 is another prime number, 7 is another prime number, and 11 is another prime number, and 30 is another one. So 30 less than 30, it says it does not include 30. It does not include 30. አስራሶስትን አይጨምርም ማለት ነው። አስራሶስትን አይጨምርም። ሪሌሽኑ r of x is equal to x square አይነት ሪሌሽን የተሰጠን። አሁን የዚህን ሬንጅ ለመፈለግ እነዚህ ምንድናቸው? ዶሜን ናቸው ማለት ነው። ይሄ ዶሜን ነው ማለት ነው። this one is the domains ዶሜኖች ናቸው እነዚህ። this ones are the domains ዶሜን ናቸው እነዚህ። ሬንጅ ደግሞ ማን ያካትታል? ሬንጅ ደግሞ range contains x squared ማለት ነው። so x ን x square እያደረግን እናወጣዋለን ማለት ነው። so 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 5 square is 25, 7 square is 49, and 11 square is 121. So these are the range of this relation, the range. So from the choices, you can see that 1, 4, 9, 25, 40, 20, 49, and D is the correct solution for this question. D is the correct solution. If the polynomial function f of x equals x squared plus kx minus 5, 15 is exactly divisible by x minus 5, then what's the value of k? So clearly you have given this one, the polynomial function with k coefficient, and it's divisible exactly by x minus 5. Divisible by exactly x minus 5 means that ምን ማለት ነው? በx minus 5 exactly divisible ነው ማለት ሪማይንደሩ 0 ነው ማለት ነው። በx minus 5 ስናካፍለው ሪማይንደሩ 0 የሚሆን ማለት ነው። or x is equal to 5 f ላይ ስናስገባው 5ን f ላይ ብናስገባው ሪማይንደሩ ምን የሚሆን ማለት ነው? ሪማይንደሩ 0 የሚሆን ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ ሁለት ቴክኒኮች መጠቀም እንችላለን። አይዘር x square plus kx minus 15 divided by x minus 5 መጠቀም እንችላለን። ሎንግ ዲቪዥን እዛ x square x minus 5 which is x ጊዜ ይሆናል ማለት ነው። so x times this one x square and x times which is minus 5x which is minus 5x then በኔጌቲቭ እናበዛውና ወደ ታች እንደምረዋለን ማለት ነው። ይሄ 0 ይሆናል which is 5x plus k5 plus kx minus 15 ይሆናል ማለት ነው። minus 15 ይቀረናል ማለት ነው። minus 15 ይቀራል ማለት ነው። 5x which is 5 ጊዜ ማለት ነው። 5 ጊዜ ይሆናል። so 5 times x is 5x which is 5x, and 5 times minus 5 is minus 25 which is minus 25. so negative positive እናደርግና ወደ ታች እንደምራለን ማለት ነው። ይሄ ይጠፋል ማለት ነው። የሚቀረን kx which የሚቀረን የሚቀረን ምንድነው? የሚቀረን 5 ይጠፋና kx plus 25 minus 50 which is positive 10 ማለት ነው። plus 10 ማለት ነው። plus 10 ይቀረናል ማለት ነው። plus 10 ይቀረናል ማለት ነው። so which is equal to what? which is equal to 0 ማለት ነው። which is equal to 0 ማለት ነው. so I think we can use this long division. x square 5x plus kx minus 15 አለን እዚህ ጋር then 5 ጊዜ 5 times 5x አለ 5 times 5 is 25 ነው። so የሚቀረን ምንድነው? 5 በ5 ይጠፋና kx ይቀረናል minus 50 plus 25 ይሆናል which is kx plus 10 ይሆናል ማለት ነው። አሁን x ማን ይሄ ሪማይንደር 0 ነው። x ደግሞ ማን ነው? k times 5 ማለት ነው። k times 5 k times 5 k times 5 is equal to k times 5 which is equal to what? K times 5 is equal to minus 10 ይሆናል ማለት ነው። k times 5 is equal to minus 10 ይሆናል ማለት ነው። k ለአምስት ስናካፍለው k is equal to minus 2 ይሆናል ማለት ነው። k is equal to minus 2 ይሆናል ማለት ነው። ይሄኛው ነው በዚህ ነው በሎንግ ዲቪዥን ስንሰራው። በሪማይንደር ቴረም ደግሞ ስንሰራው f of 5 ይሄን ቼክ ማድረግ እንችላለን። በሪማይንደር ደግሞ ስንሰራው f of 5 is equal to what? exactly divisible ስለሆነ f of 5 0 ነው የሚሆነው ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ 5 square plus k times 5 k times 5 k times 5 k times 5 plus minus 15 is equal to 0 ማለት ነው። is equal to 0 ማለት ነው. So which is 25 plus k times 5k ማለት ነው, which is 5k minus 15 is equal to 0 ማለት ነው. 25 minus 15 which is 10 plus 5k ማለት ነው. 10 plus 5k which is equal to 0 ማለት ነው. which is equal to 0 ማለት ነው. So 5k is equal to what? 5k is equal to minus 10 ማለት ነው. 5k is equal to minus 10 ማለት ነው. So k is equal to how much? k is equal to minus 2 ማለት ነው. So on both sides በሁለቱም በኩል መስራት እንችላለን። መልሱ ኔጌቲቭ 2 ማለት ነው. So this is the value, the exact solution. This is the exact solution. The next one is which is also the same, but it uses remainder theorem. If f of x is x squared minus 7x plus a has a remainder 1 when it's divisible by x minus 1. So what's the value of a? Which means that f of 1 is in Nasgaba, f of 1 is in Nasgaba, f of 1 is in Nasgaba, remainder 1 ነው። f of 1 is in Nasgaba, remainder 1 ነው። So በቀጥታ ይህንን በሎንግ ዲቪዥን መስራት ይችላል። then using remainder theorem we can find the solution. So 1 square minus 7 times 1 plus a which is equal to 1, no? Which is 1 minus 7 plus a is equal to 1, is equal to 1. So this one will be cancelled by this one, and a is equal to 7. A is equal to 7 solution. So the solution is a. So the next question is workout. The next question is a workout. If the polynomial f of x is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 15 is exactly divisible by x minus 5, then what's the value of k? I think ከላይ የሰራነው ይመስለኛል። ከላይ ሰርተነዋል። እዚህ ጋር አሁን የሰራነው ጥያቄ ይመስለኛል። this one is so I think የጥያቄዎች ኮሌክት ሳደርግ ሪፒት አድርጌው ነው እንደ workout. So we can test this one. And the next one is given a complex number z is equal to 3i over minus 1 minus i, then find the conjugate, the modulus, the inverse, and the argument, and the polar form of z. አሁን ብዙ ጥያቄዎች ነው። 1 2 3 4 5 ጥያቄዎች ነው። z መጀመሪያ እስኪ በትክክል እንጻፈው። z is equal to 3i over minus 1 minus i. 3i over minus i minus 1 minus i times ይሄንን ኖርማል ፎርም ኦፍ ኮምፕሌክስ ነምበር እንጻፈው። ዲኖሚኔተሩ ኮንጁጌት እናደርገዋለን። ማይነስ 1 ፕላስ አይ ማለት ነው። ማይነስ 1 ፕላስ አይ እናደርጋለን። so which is the same as minus 3i and I times I is minus 1, which is minus 3 minus 3 over minus 1 times minus 1 is positive 1, and plus which is plus I times I is negative 1, which is plus 1 ማለት ነው. So which is the same as minus 3 over 2 minus I times 3 over 2 minus I times 3 over 2. So this is z. This is the z value. Z value is this one. Z value is this one. So if this one is the z value, then what is the conjugate? Conjugate, what's the conjugate of z? the conjugate. Conjugate is just reflecting the complex number on the positive x-axis. So the conjugate of z, which the conjugate of z is represented by this one, so which is the same as the conjugate of z, which is represented by this one, which is the same as minus 3 over 2 plus I 3 over 2 minus 3 over 2 minus 3 over 2 times 3 over 2 minus 1. So which is a conjugate, and the other one is a modulus of the complex number. The modulus, which is the modulus of z, is represented by this one, which is the same as the square of minus 3 over 2 the whole square minus 3 over 2 the whole square plus 3 over 2 the whole square minus 3 over 2 the whole square so which is the same as the square root of 9 over 4 plus 9 over 4 plus 9 over 4, so which is the same as the square root of 2 times 9, which is 9 over 2, which is 9 over 2, which is the square root of 9 over 2, which is the same as 3 times 3 over 3 3 over the square root of 2 minus 3 over the square root of 2, which is 3 over the square root of 2, which is 3 over the square root of 2. So modulus of z is 3 over the square root of 2. Then the argument of the inverse. Just first let's do the inverse of z. So the inverse of z is which is the same as if z is given a complex number, then z inverse is which is the same as 1 over z, which is the same as 1 over z. So z is this one minus 3 minus 3i minus 3i over 2 minus 3 over 2 is z. Z is this one, z is this one, z is this one. So z inverse is the same as as you have said here. Z inverse is the same as you have said here, which is 1 over minus 3 minus 3i minus 3i over 2 minus 3i over 2, which is the same as 2 over minus 3 minus 3i minus 3i. So it's not a standard form, so that let's multiply by 1, which is by using its modulus, minus 3 plus 3i minus 3 plus 3i over 3 minus 3 plus 3i minus 3 plus 3i. So which is the same as 2 times minus 3, which is minus 6, and plus 2 times 3, which is 6i, which is 6i over 3 times 3 is 9 plus 9 plus 9. So which is the same as minus 6 plus 6i over 18 So which is the same as by 6 we can cancel minus 1 over 3 minus 1 over 3 minus 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3i plus 1 over 3 1 over 3i plus 1 over 3. So which is the inverse, and the argument of z is just we have obtained the modulus, and the argument is the argument of z. So argument of z. The argument of z is an angle theta, which is formed by the complex number with a positive x-axis, which is arg of theta, arg of z, which is a principal argument. Arg of z is equal to tan inverse of y over x, So which is the same as tan inverse of y is, where is y here? Z is this one, which is 3 over minus 3 over 2 over minus 3 over 2, which is minus 3 over minus 3 over 2 over minus 3 over minus 3 over 2, which is the same as tan inverse of 1, tan inverse of 1, tan inverse of 1. But what's tan inverse of 1? Tan inverse of 1, and what this angle minus 3 minus which is both of them are on the third quadrant, which is both of them are on the third quadrant. Therefore, the complex number is on the third quadrant, which is the third quadrant. So, which is the same as which is the same as which is obtained by which is just pi over 4, exactly, which is just pi over 4, So pi over 4 minus theta is equal to when we are counting on this side. So we are pi over 4 minus pi is the argument value, which is we can take pi 4 as this one, which is pi minus 4 pi. So pi minus 4 pi is here, then which becomes minus 3 pi minus 3 pi over minus 3 pi over 4 is the argument, which is the argument of z, argument of z. If we can find the argument of z, then any complex number z, which is equal to x plus iy, the polar form መገለጽ እንችላለን። እንዴት ሆኖ which is r, which is the modulus of z, r into cos theta plus I sin theta plus I sin theta እንደዚህ ፎርም መጻፍ ይቻላል ማለት ነው። So ሞጁለሱን አግኝተናል። ሞጁለስ of complex 3 over radical 2, which is 3 over radical 2 times the principal argument is minus 3 pi over 4, which is cos minus 3 pi over 4, cos minus 3 pi over 4, plus I times sin minus 3 pi over 4, minus 3 pi over 4. So this is the polar form of the complex number. This is the polar form of the complex number. So this is the next one is compute the cubic root of z, which is equal to minus 8 z. So we are asked to find the cubic root of z, which is the cubic root of z, where z is an element of complex number. Z is equal to an element of complex number. Then what's the cubic root of z? What's the cubic root of z? So which is the same as the cubic root of minus 8 in the the cubic root of minus 8 minus 8 የት ጋር ነው ያለው? minus 8 plus 0i ማለት ነው። 0i ነው የተሰጠን ማለት ነው። So minus 8 እዚህ ጋር ነው ያለው ማለት ነው። minus 8 በዚህኛው ሳይድ ነው ያለው ማለት ነው. Seems that this one is minus 8 0. So what would be the cubic roots of this minus 8 ነው? So ከዛ በፊት z we can represent in the form of polar form. So r times cos theta plus I sin theta form is clearly what's theta? Theta is this one. Which is pi ማለት ነው። pi አግኝተናል ማለት theta, or the argument is theta is pi ማለት ነው። theta is pi, and r is just the modulus of z ማለት ነው። the modulus of z ማለት ነው, which is just the same as the square root of minus 8 the whole square እንደማለት ነው። minus 8 the whole square ማለት ነው, which is the same as 8 ማለት ነው። the modulus of z is 8. So z እንዴት መጻፍ እንችላለን ማለት ነው? Z can be written as 8 times cos pi, 8 times cos pi plus I times sin pi ማለት ነው። sin pi ጻፍ ነው ማለት ነው። So we can, this is z. አሁን the cubic root of z እንዴት ነው የምናገኘው ነው? Now let's write the standard form for finding the nth root of z. So ck is the nth root of z is obtained by the nth root of r, the nth root of r times cos theta, cos theta plus 2k pi plus 2k pi 2k pi over n plus I times sine theta plus 2k pi 2k pi 2k pi 2k pi over n ይሄንን ስታንዳርድ ፎርም እንጠቀማለን where where k is equal to 0 1 2 up to n minus 1 up to n minus 1 ድረስ እንፈልጋለን ማለት therefore it's for the cubic root ck which is equal to the cubic root of 8 times cos pi plus 2k pi plus 2k pi plus 2k pi plus 2k pi over 3 plus I sine pi plus 2k pi plus 2k pi plus 2k pi over 3 where k is what? Where k is cubic root ነው k is equal to 0 1 እና 2 ማለት ነው 0 1 እና 2 ማለት ሶስት ሩቶች ነው ያሉት cubic root so 0 1 እና 2 እንወስዳለን ማለት ነው so for k is equal to 0 for k is equal to 0 C0 is which is equal to cubic root of 8 is 2, which is 2 times cos k0. So cos pi over 3 plus I times sine pi over 3 So pi over 3, what's pi over 3? Pi over 3 is just how much degree is it times 180 degree over pi ማለት ነው to change into degree ማለት so pi the pi ይጠፋል 3 by 60 degree ማለት so which is 2 times cos 60 degree is 1 over 2 cos 60 degree is 1 over 2 plus I sine 60 degree is radical 3 over 3 over 2 radical 3 over 2 radical 3 over 2 radical 3 over 2 so which is the same as when we are multiplying by 2 which is 1 plus I radical 3 y 1 plus I radical 3 is the first root is 1 plus and k is equal to 1 ሲሆን k is equal to 1 ሲሆን we have c1 which is equal to 2 times cos pi over 3 cos pi plus 2 pi which is pi plus 2 pi is 3 pi over 3 which is just cos pi plus I sine pi so which is 2 times cos pi is how much cos pi is it's just this one cos pi is minus 1 plus I sine is 0 0 it's just 0 so which is equal to minus 2 minus 2 is the second root and k is equal to 2 the third root when k is equal to 2 which gets c2 which is equal to 2 times cos pi plus 4 pi plus 4 pi is just 5 pi over 3 5 pi over 5 pi over 3 5 pi over 3 5 pi over 3 plus I times sine 5 pi over 3 5 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3. So what's 5 pi over 3? 5 pi over 3 is just 5 times 60 degree. 5 times 60 degree, which is 300. 300, where is 300? Where is 300? 300 is just where in which quadrant is it? Which is 270 is here, then 300 is around here. So what's left? 60 degree is on this one side. 60 degree is on this one side. So it's just, which is the same as 2 times cos on the first quadrant, all are positive, or sine is positive on second, tan is positive, cos is positive on the fourth quadrant. So which is 1 over 2 cos minus I times radical 3 over 2. So which is the same as multiplying by 2, which we get 1 minus radical 3i. 1 minus radical 3i is the third root one. So ይሄ ነው ይሄን ይመስላል ማለት ነው። The cubic root of 8 minus 8. The cubic root of minus 8 is this one. The next one is proof using mathematical induction. Proof using mathematical induction for this equation. We have two questions here. So proof using mathematical induction. 1 times 2, 3 times 4, 5 times 6, and the plus 2n minus 1 times 2n is equal to n times n plus 1 times 4n minus 1 over 3. So on mathematical induction, we follow 3 steps. The first one, we are going to show that it is true for the first element 1. For the first number n is equal to 1, true መሆኑን check እናደርጋለን ማለት ነው. And the next one is we assume that it is true for n is equal to k. K term dress or true model. Assume on the third assumption, on the third step, we want to show that it's also true for n plus 1 የሚለው እንሰራለን ማለት ነው። For n plus 1 2 ነው ወይ የሚለውን እናሳያለን ማለት ነው። So ያንን ስቴፕ ነው ፎሎ የምናደርገው ማለት ነው። So የመጀመሪያው ስቴፕ 1 ላይ step 1 ላይ check that the equation is true for n is equal to 1. For n is equal to 1. Yeah, የመጀመሪያው ተርም ላይ true መሆኑን check እና which is 1 times 2 ማለት ነው። 1 times 2 ነው የመጀመሪያው ተርም which is the same as 2 ማለት ነው multiplication, which is the same as 1 times 1 plus 1, 1 times 1 plus 1 times 4 times 1, which is minus 1. 4 times 1 minus 1 over 3 ማለት ነው. Over 3 ማለት ነው. So which is the same as 2 times 3, 2 times 3 over 3 ማለት ነው. Times 3 over 3. So which is equal to 2 ማለት. So it holds for the first step ማለት ነው. Second step, on step 2, assume that the equation is true. It is true for n is equal to k. For n is equal to k, true ነው ብለን assume that is ምንድነው assume ያደረግነው? That is assume ያደረግነው ምንድነው? 1 times 2 plus 3 times 4 plus k times 2k minus 1 plus 2k minus 1 times 2k is equal to k times k plus 1 times 4k plus 1 4k minus 1 over 3 ማለት ነው። ይሄንን true ብለን ተነሳ ማለት ነው። We assume that this one is true. So on step 3 ላይ እናሳያለን። Step 3 ላይ it's also true. Check that check that it's also true. It's also true. It's also true for k is equal to, for n is equal to k plus 1. For n is equal to k plus 1 true መሆኑን ቼክ እናደርጋለን። የትኛውን true መሆኑን ቼክ እናደርገው? Which is 1 times 2 plus 3 times 4 plus 2 times k plus 1. N is k plus 1, which is 2k plus 2k 2 times k plus 1 minus 1 k plus 1 minus 1 times 2k plus 1 2k plus 1 2k plus 1 2k plus 1 ከማን ጋር እኩል ነው? which is the same as k plus 1 times k plus 2 times k plus 2 times 4k plus 3 ማለት 4k plus 3 ጋር 4k plus 3 over 3 ጋር true መሆኑን show ማለት ነው። so that is ማሳየት የፈለግነው ይሄንን ነው ማለት ነው። so now true ነው ብለን ካሰብነው assumption እንነሳለን ማለት ነው። now 1 times 2 plus 3 times 4 plus 2k minus 1 times 2k is equal to, which is equal to k times k plus 1 times 4k minus 1 over 3 ይሄ true ብለን የተነሳነው assumption ማለት ነው። true ብለን የተነሳነው assumption ነው። አሁን ይሄን true ብለን ከተነሳነው assumption ላይ ከዚህ ጋር k plus 1 ተርም እንጨምራለን ማለት ነው። k plus 1 ተርምን እንጨምራለን። so plus እዚህ k plus 1 ተርም ማለት ነው 2k plus 1 2k plus 2 minus 1 which is 2k which is 2k plus 1 ማለት ነው 2k plus 1 times 2k plus 2 ማለት ነው 2k plus 2 ማለት ነው so which is 2k plus 2 ተርም ጨመር ማለት ነው 2k plus 2 ጨመር similarly በዚህኛውም ሳይድ 2k plus 1 times next term ማለት ነው 2k plus 1 times 2k plus 2 ጨመር 2k plus 2 ጨመር ማለት ነው 2k plus 2 ጨመር ማለት ነው። አሁን እዚህ ጋር ያለው ተርም እዚህ ጋር ያለው ተርም ሪአሬንጅ ስናደርገው ማንን መስጠት አለበት? እዚህ ጋር ያለው k plus 1 times k plus 2 times 4k plus 3 over 3 የሚለውን መስጠት መቻል አለበት ማለት ነው። so which is equal to ይሄን አሁን ሪአሬንጅ እናድርግ። የጋራ ማንን እንውሰድ? 3 እንውሰድ። የጋራ 3 ስንወስድ 3 k times k plus 1 times k plus 1 times 4k minus 1 plus 3 times 2k plus 1 times 2k plus 1 times 2k plus 2 so what's common here ነው ምንድነው የትኛው ነው common ነው? what's common here? 2k plus 2 ስናወጣው k plus 1 ነው 2k plus 1 ነው ማለት ነው k plus 1 የጋራ ኮመን አለ ማለት ነው k plus 1 የጋራ ኮመን አለን ማለት ነው k plus 1 ነው አወጣው k plus 1 ሲያወጣው ማን ይቀረኛል እዚህ ጋር k times 4k minus 1 ይቀረኛል ማለት ነው k times 4k minus 1 አለ ማለት ነው and plus እዚህ ጋር 2 አለች 6 አለኝ እዚህ ጋር 6 2k plus 1 ማለት 6 k plus 1 እዚህ ጋር ይኖረኛል ማለት ነው። so which is over 3 ማለት ነው over 3 ማለት ነው. so which is the same as k plus 1 which is k plus 1 times k by k እናብዛው which is 4k square minus k ነው minus k plus 12k plus 6 ይሆናል plus 6 ይሆናል ማለት ነው plus 6 over 3 ማለት ነው over 3 ማለት ነው over 3 ማለት ነው. so which is the same as k plus 1 times k plus 1 times 4k square plus 11k plus 11k plus 6 ማለት ነው plus 6 ማለት ነው plus 6 ይሆናል plus 6 over 6 over 3 ማለት ነው over 3 ማለት ነው. so it is 4k which is 12k which is 4k times k minus k ነው የሚሆነው 4k minus k ነው የሚሆነው. so when we are multiplying the two numbers their sum is 11 and the product is 24 የሚሰጡ ሁለት ቁጥሮች ስናበዛቸው 24 ስንደምራቸው ደግሞ 11 የሚሰጡ ሁለት ቁጥሮች ይኖራሉ ማለት ነው. ሰው ለምሳሌ 8 እና 3 24 ሰጥተዋል ማለት ነው ድምራቸው 11 ነው ማለት ነው. so which is the same as k plus 1 times 4k square plus 8k plus 3k plus 6 over 3 ማለት ነው over 3 ማለት ነው. so which is the same as k plus 1 times what's this one is we can take 4k as a common 4k into k plus 2 is left here k plus 2 is left here plus 3 የጋራ ስንወስደው k plus 2 እዚህም ጋር ይቀራል ማለት ነው k plus 2 እዚህም ጋር k plus 2 ይቀራል ማለት ነው over 3 ይሆናል ማለት ነው over 3 ይሆናል. so k plus 2 የጋራ ነው so which becomes k plus 1 times k plus 2 times 4k plus 3 4k plus 3 over 3 is so we obtained the desired one, the required one. So k plus 1 k plus 2 4k plus 3 over 3 we obtained the desired one. So it's true by using mathematical induction. So by using mathematical induction we have obtained the proof of this sequence. The next one is a polynomial equation 3x cubed minus 5x squared plus cx minus 5 is equal to 0. And C element of real number has a root 1 minus I 2i 1 minus 2i is 1 has 1 root. Then find the other two roots of the equation and the value of C element. So polynomial function polynomial function p of x is given 3x cubed minus 5x squared plus cx minus 5 which is equal to 0 is orthogonal. We have given this polynomial function. For this polynomial function we have given also one root which is 1 minus 2i which is one root which is 1 minus 2i. Let's say it is z develop complex root ስለሆነች z is equal to 1 minus 2i ትሰጣለች። አሁን using the conjugate root theorem conjugate root theorem ምንድን ነበር የሚለው? The conjugate root theorem exists here if complex number z, if the complex number z is equal to x plus iy is the root of the polynomial function. If the complex number, if is the root, if it is the root or the root of if the root of the polynomial function p of x, then the conjugate, then the conjugate z conjugate, which is equal to x minus iy is also a root, is also a root, the root of the polynomial function p of x, p of x. ስለዚህ ከconjugate root theorem ምን እንወስዳለን? If 1 plus this one is root ነው ብሎ ተሰጠን, implies that its conjugate z bar, which is equal to 1 plus 2i is also the root of pi, the root of p of x, which is also the root of p of x. ስለዚህ ሁለቱን ሩቶች አገኘን ማለት ነው። therefore እናብዛቸው ሁለቱን ሩቶች x minus 1 minus 2i, 1 minus 2i, x minus 1 minus 2i, x minus 1 minus 2i times x minus 1 plus 2i, x minus 1 plus 2i are linear forms, then what's the product of this one? The product will be x times x, which is x square, x times this one is minus x times 1 plus 2i, and this one minus x times 1 minus 2i, and this one, which is positive 1 minus 2i, times 1 plus 2i, so which is the same as x square minus x minus 2xi minus x plus 2xi plus the conjugate product of conjugate of two numbers is just 1 plus 4, just 1 plus 4, so which is the same as x square, and this one will be cancelled by this one, minus 2x plus 5 is this one, plus 5 is the polynomial function, which is a polynomial function, which is a factor of this one, which is a factor of the given polynomial function, the factor of the given polynomial function. So let's divide this one by this one. እስኪ እናካፍለው። ይሄንን ለዚህኛው ስናካፍለው ሁለቱም ሩቶች ስለሆኑ ሪማይንደሩ 0 ነው መምጣት ያለበት። ከዛ ከሪማይንደሩ ሲንም ቫልዩ እናገኛለን ማለት ነው። so x cubed 3x cubed minus 5x square plus cx minus 5 divided by x square minus 2x plus 5 so something ጊዜ which is x ጊዜ ማለት ነው, which is x ጊዜ, so which is 3x ጊዜ, which is 3x ጊዜ, which is 3x which is 3x square, 3x cubed and 3x times, which is minus 6x square and 3x times, which is 15x, which is 15x. So plus minus ወደ ታች እንቀንሰዋለን, which is 0 minus 5x plus 6 which is x square ይቀረናል እዚህ ጋር x square ይቀረናል እዚህ ጋር ደግሞ which is 5 which is c minus 5 c minus 5 c minus 5 c minus 5x ይቀረናል plus c minus 5x ይቀረናል minus 5 አለ minus 5 አለ ማለት ነው so ስንት ጊዜ which is x ጊዜ ማለት ነው which is 1 ጊዜ ማለት so 1 times x square አለ እዚህ ጋር x square አለ እዚህ ጋር minus 2x አለ እዚህ ጋር and plus 5 አለ እዚህ ጋር plus 5 አለ ማለት so minus positive negative እናደርጋለን ማለት ነው ወደ ታች እንደምራለን ይሄ ይጠፋል ማለት ነው so እዚህ ጋር ያለን 2x plus c minus 5 c minus 5x c minus 5x c minus 5x minus 10 ማለት ነው አሁን 2x እዚህ ጋር x square which is just a reminder but the remainder ምንድነው ተብሏል 0 ነው because ይሄኛው ፋክተሩ ስለሆነ ማለት ነው so 2x plus minus 5x minus 5x 2x minus 5x plus cx minus 10 is equal to 0 ማለት 2x minus 5x minus 3x minus 3x plus cx minus 10 is equal to 0 ማለት minus 10 is equal to 0 ማለት minus 10 is equal to 0 ማለት so which is c minus 3x ማለት c minus 3x is equal to 10 ማለት ነው is equal to 10 ማለት ነው so የx value ይሄ ይሆናል ማለት ነው so c minus x ን አሁን የፈለገንን ቁጥር ማስገባት ይችላል ከነዚህ ይሄኛውን 1 minus 2i ማስገባት ይችላል ማለት ነው so c minus 3 times which is 1 minus 2i 1 minus 2i is equal to 10 ማድረግ ይችላል ማለት ነው so c minus 3 is equal to 10 ያገኛለሁ ማለት ነው c minus 3 is equal to 10 የሚለውን ያገኛለሁ ማለት ነው ኮንስታንት ተርሙ ጋር ፕላስ 0i ስለሆነ እዚህ ጋር ከኮንስታንት ተርሙ ጋር c minus 3 ያገኛለሁ ማለት ነው c is equal to how much c is equal to 13 ያገኛለሁ ማለት c is equal to 13 ያገኛለሁ ማለት c is equal to 13 ያገኛለሁ ማለት ነው 13 minus 3 which is 10 ማለት ነው x is equal to 10 ማለት so this is the 13 is the constant term 13 is the constant term ማለት 13 is the constant term so በዚህ መልኩ እናገኛለን ማለት ነው so አንደኛውን ሩት ደግሞ ለማግኘት 13 ካስገባን በኋላ ይሄንን ራሱ ዲቫይድ ስናደርገው በ13 እናስገብተን ዲቫይድ ስናደርገው እናገኘዋለን ማለት ነው I think የመጨረሻው የሚቀረው ይሄኛው ኤግዛምፕል ይሄኛው ማትማቲካል ኢንዳክሽን ይጠይቀው ማለት ነው